Okay, so this is sort of where I'm at today and what's on my mind. I have this upcoming trip to Mandalay, Myanmar, or Burma. The airplane from Bangkok and back costed $171.46. The hotel stay for 4 nights cost $79, and e-visa, which took 2 or 3 days to process, costed exactly $50. And I spent $500 or 500 baht, Thai baht, out of my protein fund. So I got some more chicken breast, because that's important to me. Remember, I was saying that for me not to abuse Adderall, or for me not to abuse steroids and not be tempted to, I have to consume 200 grams of protein a day. That way my body always has plenty enough proteins to maintain extremely high level of fitness, which is a little bit costly. It costs about 2,000, I can't even think straight, 230 US dollars per month. So I remember, like, Irina and I used to sit down for 4 or 5 hours every other Sunday, and we would calculate out our finances, and people would ask us, how do you have a real estate portfolio on 4 or 5 units that you rent out? And there's a reason for that. You can't manage what you don't measure or won't measure. And there was like 1 year, I remember I told Irina, I was like, you realize we had like 350,000 US cash influx this year or something, like basically income. And she was like, wow. I was like, I know, right? It was almost like we were like, which credit card's the good one that we can go buy Starbucks with? It wasn't quite at that point, but not too far off. And that was having an income of 350,000 a year. Now, I've had some friends tell me, having 100% disability for PTSD, they say like, wow, you're so lucky, it's about $3,000 a month. And I'm like, no, not really. Like, it's 90% less than what I'm used to. And PTSD definitely caused me to lose my wife. And I consider her probably like a $50 million asset. Caused me to lose my real estate portfolio, which is worth at least a couple $1,000,000. And when you start looking at it honestly, it's almost like the government threw some spare change at me each month. Me being me, knowing what I know, and the skills that I have, PTSD robbed me of tens of millions of dollars. So I'm actually very, very grateful that I get $3,000 a month. I'm just saying, like, it's not worth it to me. Like, if I could do it over again, like, I would rather have my wife and my real estate portfolio and all that stuff. Sounds a little bit, that doesn't mean that I don't love my daughters and my wife's like, hey, I'm just saying that it's not worth it to me to get $3,000 a month and lose the things that are worth, tens of millions, and my wife, who I still to this day love with all my heart. PTSD took that away from me. So, where are we? Who are we? What are we doing? What are we up to? Today I made myself a goal that I would work on my personal finances for 2 hours, because I'm basically, the thing that I'm worried about most is, so the plane ride coming back from Myanmar or Burma, it gets in at like 3 p.m. So normally I would just be like, oh, I'm going to book a hotel for $40-50 for 1 night. But I'm on a budget now, because I give half of that $3,000 to Sok Hang, and I have no idea what she does. For all I know, she's funding terrorism. I'm pretty sure she's using it for her shop and to help her village out and buy more rice paddies. Now she has a real estate portfolio of like 4 or 5 little properties around Cambodia. They're not worth much. They're like 12,000, 5,000. And then she has her shop now. And anyways, but the thing that I'm worried about most is, I realize when you get ahead financially, you really truly have to give a shit about this. I know it seems silly, like 46 cents, but it's actually not. Like, instead of getting a hotel when I come back from Myanmar, I really should figure out what the bus schedule is so that I can take a late bus. The reason I would just normally get a hotel when I go back to Bangkok is because I can't even think straight. More coffee. The reason I normally get a hotel when I come back to Bangkok is the last train from Bangkok to Cabinbury, where I stay now. I think it leaves around like 1 or 2 p.m. Or even if it left later, I would miss it, so I just get a hotel. But that adds up. Then you get a hotel, then you maybe eat out, so you're looking at maybe 70, 80 bucks, not just 40 or 50. And I've already allocated 230 for my rent for this executive office here in Thailand. I've already allocated 230 for my protein fund. And then you add this all up, the $50 visa, the $171 airplane round trip ticket, and then the $79 hotel stay in Myanmar, plus the expenses that I'll accumulate there, because I was going to go see like the world's largest book, which is the Buddhist text there in Mandalay. When you add all that up, I've already spent basically like $800 or $900 of my $1,500, and so that leaves me literally like $600 for the next 20 days, and I'm traveling to another country and back. So it's actually kind of freaky. If I weren't, I'm not that freaked out, because like I get asked Sak Hang to liquidate an asset, and like at some fire sale value if things got really bad. But the thing is I'm an adult. I'm not a child. I should have my finances completely figured out. That's my standard. I don't want my family to feel stressed. I don't want to feel stressed. I want to work on my letter to my girly-girls, learn Khmer 2 hours a day. And I can't do that if I'm stressed out about finances. I can't be a good husband or a good son or a good brother or a good father if I'm constantly in a state of like, or as Hillary Clinton would say, we can't keep careening from one self-inflicted crisis to the next. And that's sort of how I look at most people's finances outside of the upper class of our societies.